So what do you think of this report?
Basically, it highlights everything that we've been talking about for the past year and a half almost, and it's good that that's been said. They say they're going to listen. They need to.
What is it that you want to see from the Regional Council now?
I want to see them listen to the communities, listen to what we believe are the solutions to the issues that we are facing. I'm yet to see the full report, but I can't wait to see what they've said about ESC, see if they've picked up everything, and act.
Do you have any confidence that the Regional Council will act on this and will implement those recommendations?
No, I believe they will try to do to us what they done to the people of Matatā, and I believe they will use one of these mechanisms to force us out of our homes.
Is that your biggest concern at the moment?
That's been my biggest concern from day one. Yep.
And looking at this report, I mean, it doesn't seem necessarily they're going to force you out, but there's a lot of talk in there about the fact that some of these areas shouldn't have been built on. Given that you're in an area like that had a historic flood, what do you think about that?
That's their opinion. We are there. The councillors also mentioned that we should learn to live with rivers. That's what I do at my place in the holiday park. I have an evacuation system. My house is on 3-metre poles. My house is still standing after the worst flood that hit Hawke's Bay that we know of. So why should we be punished because of an event that's now taken place?
So just recap for me really briefly what happened during Gabrielle, because you had your own flood warning system, didn't you, in the river, and you got out?
Correct. I started prepping days in advance. We flooded Monday night. We had evacuated the whole place by Saturday and Sunday, with the last 2 people leaving Monday morning at 7 a.m. Our place wasn't flooded till 10:30 that night. It's not rocket science. They need trigger points where they act and civil defence takes action. Deaths could have been avoided had they had a plan, and until we get a flood plan for all of Hawke's Bay, we're still no safer than we were before.
And there are still no trigger points, right?
As far as I'm aware, there's no known trigger points of when to evacuate the Esk Valley, or any other area for that matter of fact.
Do you feel any safer?
Of course I feel safe. I've got my own system.
Thanks. Do you guys have any questions?
And how did you find the review process? Do you feel you were heard?
Yeah, I found the panel really good to listen. They listened to us well. We had out in Esk a large group of locals that had lived there for a long period of time. So yeah, they were very professional and gave us confidence.
And Dan, when you have a look at it, you'll be happy because they actually pick up quite a bit on the trigger points, and they say we don't have any, as you said, and we need them because with the communication they saw between HPRC and Civil Defence was a little bit ad hoc and a little bit subjective.
Yes.
And so they've actually, one of the recommendations is put in trigger levels. For you, is that a long time coming? That's something that you'd love to see?
That's absolutely necessary for them to be able to make decisions based on pure hard facts and not on someone's opinion. I've seen all the emails from Cyclone Gabrielle. I've seen all the emails for the Wairua flood. They still aren't acting. They still aren't listening. I happened to have COVID at the time when the Wairua floods occurred, and I got up at 4:45 in the morning, and there I had an email sitting saying Wairua's at danger of flooding, and Civil Defence still did not act in time, and they have seen people evacuate in chest-deep water with their kids. It's atrocious. It needs to change.
Trigger levels would save lives, wouldn't they?
Correct. And stop trauma. People are traumatised out there. They got stuck in their roofs, the whole lot, with their kids. You've got kids, imagine if you had to pull them into the ceiling because no one gave you a warning and you had to sit in there with them while the water's bashing on your ceiling. You'd be scarred for life, mate. Thankfully, that never happened to me or my people because we weren't there. So yeah, that's the impact. And I don't think they get that because they haven't come to see us either. No councillor from here, not the chair, no councillor from Hastings. None of them have come to see us and find out what really happened and how to prevent it.
You know, I must say, what are we, 2024, another year, 2024, trigger levels, it seems like a bit of a, doesn't pass the pub test that we don't have them yet. Do you think it's probably something that could have been implemented a long time ago?
They could have implemented it a couple of months afterwards. They should have had it prior. I know when to leave. I could tell them right now when the road's going to flood. The road's going to flood around about a 6.5 metre rise. That's when it's going to flood across State Highway 5. The other problem is NZTA aren't listening. They've got the gates in a point of the road where the flood's now going to go across the road. Someone's going to scream around State Highway 5 and 2 intersection into the floodwaters. They don't want to listen. They've put it in their little Trek update. I've been banging on about it for months. Nothing is happening. It's driving me nuts. Same thing. I won't be the one that gets caught out. It'll be some unknowing person that does. The Trek's own modelling shows that's going to happen. I've seen it. I gave them the data. This talk about we're going to flood every 5 to 10 years over the main road isn't true. Had that happened, I wouldn't have a holiday park business because I would have been flooded out every 5 to 10 years because I'm well below road level. There is no consistency, and that's just that. Yeah. I was glad to hear that Jeff Van Beek said, I know he was affected as well, and he said that he wasn't angry about the flood. Neither am I. I'm angry about the fact that HBRC are categorising us effectively out of our land, and the other council is weaponising the category system, and this category system has no basis in statutory law. How can they do something like that to us when there is no basis in statutory law? They just don't answer. I'm angry because my property rights are being taken away, my business, my livelihood, all because they think it's too dangerous to live at my place. And I've always maintained that you can't be in risk of a flood if you're not there, just like you can't die in a car crash if you don't get in a car. Have trigger points, alarms, evacuation plans, and most importantly, act. People need to act. And if it has to be set that it's a trigger level, act on that. Then there's no question. It goes off, you do, you go. Just like our tsunamis. Long gone, get gone, long strong, get gone, right? If river's too high, go. Don't get caught.